me slowly, it's the sweetest thing. And it don't change if I had it my way. You don't know that you are. You're the coffee that I drink in the morning. You're the sunshine on my brain where it's pouring. Give yourself to me, give it all. I just wanna see, I just wanna see how beautiful you are, yeah. You know that I see it, I know you're a star. Where you go, I'll follow, no matter how far. If life is a movie, then you're the best part. Oh, you're the best part. Oh, best part. If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? Won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? Let me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? Oh, if you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? Love me, won't you? I just wanna see. Yeah, I just wanna see. I just wanna see how beautiful you are, yeah. You know that I see it. I know you're a star. Where you go, I'll follow, no matter how far. If life is a movie, then you're the best part. Thank you. So that was best song, not best song, best part, written by her and featuring Daniel Caesar. The next artist I'm going to be covering for you all is B Badubi. I understand it's a very interesting name. Her song is called The Glue Song. So, I've never known someone like you. Ooh, tangled and love struck by you from the glue. Oh, don't forget to kiss me, or else you've got to miss me. I guess that I'm forever stuck by the glue onto you. Da da. Oh. Finding the right words to use for the song. I'll have you in mind, it won't take so long. I never thought I'd find you, but you're here. And just because I can, I'll say I love you. I've never known, I've never known, I've never known. I've never known someone like you. Ooh, tangled and love struck by you from the glue. Oh, don't forget, oh, don't forget to kiss me, or else you've got to miss me. I guess I'm forever stuck. Thank you. All right. So from here, we're going to do another cover called I Am Light, written by India Ari. I chose to do this song actually because I find her to be a very powerful and inspirational young woman. She sings so many songs about self-love and having self-worth in like so many different ways in a lot of array of her music. And I wanted to share this song called I Am Light. I am light, I am light.
The beautiful sounds of local performers are the backdrop for tonight as we get ready to say the quintessential Trini thing that you will use to express something worth sharing. Papayo! We are at Veronique's for the 5th edition of the Film and Folklore Festival, where that's exactly what you're going to say. Papayo all night long. Tonight, we expect to see 3 films being shared, 2 local and 1 Ghanaian, as this international and local film festival is going to show us ourselves. Upon entry tonight, as much as you are looking forward to covering the red carpet with me, I ain't will, you would have received a mirror because tonight at Papayo, we are welcoming you with a reflection of yourself. Get ready to see movies that move you, shorts and films that tell your stories, and so much more. We're on the red carpet live for TTT because you know we live for local. So guys, stick around. There is so much that you need to see, including the Dwens, and there's a larger blast behind me somewhere, guys. Hopefully we'll catch up with them too and find out what their stories are. Tonight, of course, we are outdoors and enjoying the ambience. And if you look around, which I hope you get the chance to do, you'll see ladders, you'll see mirrors, and other small tidbits that we all know the traditions, the superstition, and the folklore behind. So tonight, you're going to learn something. You're going to be entertained, and you're going to enjoy seeing yourselves and hearing yourselves as we take you back poolside for some more entertainment tonight for Papayo, the launch of the 5th edition of the Folklore and Film Festival.
I am light. 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 I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside is all light. Is all light. I am 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 divinity divine. I am a god on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am all light. Thank you.
So now we are on the red carpet, and I have grabbed the attention of Leslie Wills-Caton, founder of the Folklore Film Festival, and that means that you can tell me what this 50th year means really and truly. As much as we see in the superstition and we are seeing the titles, what this year 2023 is like.
Well, thank you so much. For me, five is a lot. Five is a really good number for me. And of course, keeping the folklore and our culture and our traditions alive. I am from South. I'm from Point Fortin, deep South. And it was so important to hear the stories growing up as a child. And being a filmmaker, I realized that there is an affiliation to the foreign films. I'm like, we have so much of our culture, our rich texts that we can play with these characters. And so we're digitizing the folklore content, but also having an event experience. So when you come, you can have entertainment and you can see films. So that's really the family fun, films, food, folklore.
I am thoroughly enjoying the duets who are laughing in the background. I had to ask about the mirrors because I really didn't think about what they represented. I thought it was a costume checker, sorry. But tonight is about creating an immersive experience. And so we're getting the chance to immerse ourselves in some of those films. Tell me about the selections I will be seeing tonight. I understand it's two from Trinidad and one from a Ghanaian, well, filmmaker. Tell me a little about the selection.
Sure. So we have three films. James is done by a filmmaker from Paramin, Candice Nori. And of course, it's a bit art house. So you think of Euphoria, you think of Atlanta style. And of course, we have Fantastic Friday by the fabulous filmmaker Shari Petty. Yes, I love my F's. And of course, with the Ghanaian film, it's a beautiful African folktale that I just had to share with Trinidad and Tobago. And so we chose those three selections. But of course, for Saturday and Sunday, we have over 40 films screening. It's shorts, majority shorts. We have a lovely feature film from the police service called Code 727, and that's their version of the 1990 coup. It's an excellent documentary. Yeah.
Now, granted that you let some cats out the bag. Essentially, I want to say congratulations because I understand that according to your caption, the people ram out Movie Town box office, so that some new dates had to be added.
Let me get the story right. So we scheduled the films for two screenings, and then people started to hound Movie Town. One of the filmmakers who did his film Duen, he had over 125 shares on social media, and everyone was like, "We need to see this film. We need to see this film." And actually, from filmmakers from Paramount, they wanted to see Behind the Blue, which is a documentary. And it got to the point where Movie Town was like, "We need to sort this out." And so now we have 4 slots. 2 days, which is a really good testament.
Listen, congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. The thing ain't even start, and it's already doing big numbers.
Exactly. And that is what we try to show Trinidad and Tobago, that if we are creating the content and the environment, people will come. And that's what we want to showcase, yes.
So if you're coming tonight, you have to prepare for me a name for yourself, but as a movie title. So if you had to name yourself or introduce yourself to Trinbago as a movie title, any genre, any name, it's totally up to you. What would the name of your movie be?
And I can make it up on the spot.
Of course you can. That's the point.
Papayo, look, tang. you had to
Part 1. Part 1. Well, she embodies tonight's vision, tonight's energy, and she continues to fly the flag of not just Trinidad and Tobago, but folklore and culture high. So we say thank you very, very much, Ms. Wills. And again, congratulations on a stunning night, the successes of Movie Town, and so much more to come. Now, if somebody is not here tonight and not enjoying this ambience, give me a little bit of the schedule that they could look forward to in Movie Town until I change it again because you'll sell out everything.
Listen, we kept changing the schedule. So we do have 8 filmmakers from Trinidad and Tobago whose films will be screened in Movie Town. We have films from Iran, from Ghana, from Nigeria, from France, from Turkey, from Belarus. Just beautiful short stories. The feature films are our local filmmakers, which was an excellent, and that's why we accepted it, because the festival was really a short film for now. And we had filmmakers saying, "But we have features." I'm like, "What? Bring those features, we'll showcase it." And we were getting the responses have been really beautiful and really overwhelming. Yes.
Now, as much as those schedules are happening, we want to make sure that you guys at home are enjoying the ambience as much as we are. So we're taking you back poolside as we continue with more performances here at the 5th edition, where we say, Papayo!
Music makes music. I felt your tears flowing upstream. It frightened me, it spoke to me softly. ever needed me. I held your hand, oh, whatever I thought it was. A symphony made me sing sweet songs. You harmonized a sound that felt so right. And then we stood there staring into each other's eyes, quietly, quietly. Thank you. I forgot to mention in one go. Hi again, my name is Keelan Jacob. If you guys would like to follow any of my socials, from Instagram, it is KIE.
And if you're just joining us, we are on the red carpet because tonight we saying Papa Yo, look ting whole night. And one thing that makes you say Papa Yo is when you see stories that you can relate to. So tonight it is a pleasure to have the director, writer, the everythinger behind James, the movie. Now this morning we were given the pleasure of speaking to, well, James's mummy, where I pointed out, I have to say it like that, you're the mummy in the film, whose clip was once it's a stumps like it's done. You are perfect mommy. So you are everybody's mommy tonight. And so that we know that from the actors and actresses on the film that it was definitely relatable, that it's things that we can identify with. But what caused you to decide that this was a story that needed to be told?
I didn't have a good idea, because no, listen to me. It just came. I promised the guy, the lead actor, I was going to do something with him, and we didn't know what. It was like 2-3 years I was waiting to like find something to do, and in the writing process, it just came. It just like I guess a story that I related to. It just something like to deal with loss and love and family. And in talking with the lead actor, we had some meetings back and forth, and I incorporated some of his life. I stalk his Instagram page and notice he has certain things, and I guess incorporate that into the story, and I guess it evolved from there.
So you don't dance at all?
I used to dance 20 years ago.
Now I want to know your age, but I wouldn't buy you. We wouldn't do that tonight.
I was a young dancer who used to stalk people in parties, battling people in break dancing and all this.
So you can pop it and lock it on time.
But I might pop her back, but I ain't doing that.
Once you found your new strength, because in this case, as you've heard, I don't know if you guys have heard, but the screenings that have been offered in Movietown have had to been extended because the popular names, the demand has been so great. I think that's a success in itself, and I want to know what that makes you feel like right now.
Well, it makes me feel good because it makes me feel that Trinidadians are embracing local films and local entertainment, and they want to see their stories told on screen.
Absolutely. Now, this being your debut, is it? In terms of acting, this morning you were saying, this is my first time. That has to be an incredible feeling to hear that people are, out extending the demand beyond what they initially planned. What are the thoughts and emotions at this very moment?
Nervous and very excited. I was thrilled when I heard, because James was supposed to be one night and now it's 2. So we're very excited about that. Yeah.
Well, the excitement continues. I will let you guys enjoy the red carpet moments, the cocktails, the ambiance, and of course the celebration of ourselves. This is the Film and Folklore Festival. You are live at TTT, and we are going back poolside to make sure we catch all the action.
Cultural heritage of our beloved country. Tonight, we come together to showcase the beauty and importance of folklore, family, and cultural stories. These stories are an essential part of our history and our identity, and they serve as a link between our past, present, and our future. Through them, we learn about our traditions, our values, and our way of life. It is important that we continue to keep these traditions alive and preserve them for future generations. They are a testament to our resilience, creativity, and diversity. They remind us of who we are and where we come from, and they provide us with a sense of belonging and community. So, I thank you all for being here tonight to celebrate our rich heritage. I hope that you will enjoy the films and performances that we have in store for you, and that they will inspire you to continue to cherish and pass on our culture. Thank you to our sponsors, the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and the Arts, Exim Bank, TTT Limited, Coover Chamber of Commerce, Casey Confectionery, Tommy's Brewery, DJMA Event Services, and Verde Green. Do have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Donnell. Now, this, in the kind of, like the words of David Rudder, this is not the kind of thing where you stand up like a moody musical jammy, right? So we encourage you to have a good time, enjoy yourselves, move around, mingle, meet someone, and of course, we have so much in store for you. But I would like to invite, once again, and I know she's ready this time, the founder of Film and Folklore Festival. Let's hear it for Leslie Ann Wills Caton.
Good evening, everyone. I really want to thank you all for coming. Of course, the representatives from the French Embassy, from the Dominican Republic, fellow festival founders in their own rights, filmmakers. We have filmmakers here who will be screening beautiful films. The media, you lovely guests, thank you all so much for being here. I am going to be very brief. Today, this makes me feel very emotional because I really want to keep our culture alive. And as a filmmaker and as a storyteller, I always go back to being a child and hearing stories and sitting by the street lights and listening to all these folk tales. And as I got older, I felt that we were falling in love with the Vampire Diaries and the Game of Thrones. And I was like, this ain't it, right? So how do we preserve our culture in film? And so the Film and Folklore Festival is about digitizing our culture and, of course, having fun. So we love the F's. We're fun, film, family, food, and folklore. And as much as possible, we want you all to enjoy it, have fun. We play games, and we're very much a family-friendly festival. So thank you all so much.
Let's hear it again for Leslie Ann Wills Caton, the festival founder. And I neglected to tell you that the young lady who sang to start us off, Keelan, is such an accomplished singer.
So tonight we are going to be sharing our stories in film, in festivities, and of course in folklore. And so I want this lady to join me. Look. Good night.
Hello, darling. Oh, you know, my feet not too stable.
Now, I know exactly who you are. The viewers have an idea of who you are, but who am I talking to tonight?
I am playing the Laja Bless, a folklore festival feature, a character who lures men into the woods and, well, who knows if they will come back.
Well, I want you to
Don't stray, men out there.
good advice, but I want you to come back to me because tonight I want to talk to Cecilia Salazar. You are an extraordinary storyteller. It is always an honor to be in your presence because you bring our culture alive in so many ways. And tonight you are one of the storytellers for this event. That means that we're going to have a proper performance then, yes?
Yeah, well, once you get into character, you know, and I'm just going to tell a story based on the folklore of the Laja Bless. I love storytelling. It's not like I'm not a story writer. I realize I'm a storyteller. And I think that's what Caribbean actors all are, storytellers. Right?
It is definitely something that is innate for us. So when we see our stories being told on the big screen now, especially as somebody who has devoted so much of your life to it, this must be an incredible feeling. How do you describe what is happening in this, the 5th edition of the Folklore Film Festival?
I'm so excited, exactly because of that. We need to see our characters. And it's not only folklore because the folklore comes through in the people. I'm sure you know a woman who might be like a larger bless, but she's not a larger bless with a hoof and all of that, you know what I mean? So as Tony Hall always said, these characters are characters we can pull on when we as actors want to play Caribbean people. We could pull on all of these characters. The Strong, the Papa Bois, the Little Devil, the Dwen, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm looking for now, because I was hearing them just now there.
So we can use these characters as actors in our films. So it's not only the folklore characters you can portray, but you can pull from them and bring the characters to life.
Well, before this one, Pulmul, I must say good night. Hello, Mr. or Miss. Who are you?
I am a Dwen. And if you were a little younger, I would take you to the bushes with me if you weren't baptized.
Well, this is the first time in my life I am not feeling offended by that statement. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the thing. We saying Papa, yo, look thing whole night. And you guys are getting the experience thanks to us here at TTT. We're making sure that our stories are told and celebrated. So the action will continue. We will take you back poolside as we continue the opening night and say,
Papa, yo!
Bang. A man slamming to the back of my vehicle. So I came out to see what happened. My trunk dents up. So I asked him, like, how something can happen? We at a red light. And it's 11 p.m., only 2 of us on the road. You know, he said he saw a larger bless and he get distracted and crashed into me. I was like, all right, no scene. But from that experience, I realized 3 things. The first thing I realized is women stronger than men. Why I say that is because when women get hit from the back, they do complain. The second thing I realize is red light is not for stopping. And the third thing I realize is if you see somebody you really like, just wait for them by the red light and slam into them as hard as possible from behind. You'll get the name, the number, the address, all the contact information, and a free date at the police station. You get to spend hours getting to know them. But because of that experience, I was forced to travel. And I don't mean to boast because a lot of people just wait for the vacation to travel. But I've been traveling a while, up and down the bus route, to and from work. And one day, the maxi stopped to pick up this lovely young lady. And as soon as she bust the maxi door, I could tell she was into real estate because she had more back than backyard. You know, so she jumped in the maxi and she sat down right next to me. And you would not believe what this young lady is doing. She is sleeping on my shoulder. So me, a gentleman, I did what any other gentleman would do. I said, hey, what the hell are you doing? You have no training now. If you want a comfortable rest, lay on my lap. You know what I mean? But it was too late. We already reached Port of Spain. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is my time. Thank you so much for having me. You all look amazing.
Let's hear it for Jonathan Pierre. Come on, yeah. Wow. Papa, yo. A little concerned about the story, though. You said the best way to meet people is allow people to hit you from behind, get the information. But a guy who hit you from behind in the accident. That was... No, I just want to get the story right because, yo, it's 2023, yo, we not... It's all good. Thanks, Rockers, yeah. It's all good. Don't worry how you reach in that. Did you enjoy Jonathan Pierre? Come on, make some noise if you did. Oh, look in real life. Papa, you. Wow. Jonathan, you were good. You were good. Good. Enough. Thanks. So at this time, we're going to go right into some more entertainment. And there's a young lady, and I use that word very, very, very loosely. She's going to come, and she's going to bring some storytelling to you. So I want you to bring her up with a rousing round of applause. If you have a drink in your hand, be careful. It might spill somebody next to you. All right? So please put your hands together and welcome the icon, the legend herself. Let's hear it for Cecilia Salazar. Come on.
And the performances are continuing, but it is always a pleasure to speak to people who have dedicated their lives to continuously telling our stories. So I know tonight means a lot to you. What are the emotions and thoughts at the moment?
I think that I've always been enthralled in this whole folk film festival, and for Leslie and Keaton and her team, her niece who is the general manager, to bring about this. I thought it's such an exciting idea, you know, to keep the folk alive, because that is so important, because our children are losing it. They don't even understand these characters, Sukunya and Laja Bless, and you know. So I think this is an important festival and must happen every year. Yeah.
And that's why you're gracing us with your presence. Now, tonight I'm asking people if they had to name themselves or introduce themselves as a story or movie title. It doesn't have to be an existing show. You're making up a movie on the spot. What would your story, your introduction be?
His name was Georgie.
This is
Jorge, as they say in the
Value,
He
a
was
story
real sweet
by
red
from
man.
off for if from the Penelope Spencer. Value.
Value would be the name. Well, that is a title to make you say Papa you. But tonight there is a lot that you have to observe. I don't know if you saw the mirrors and the ladder and
Dwayne's around and stuff, and I think it's so wonderful. And Cecilia is telling a story. Loveliness. Yes.
in that case, Value. I will let you strut your stuff on the runway and enjoy tonight. Thank you so much for joining us.
Very much, Ainka. You're gonna enjoy it.
I did not.
Guys, taking it back poolside where the storyteller is telling her story just like we will. Take it all in.
That Georgie had a weakness. It was woman for so. Oh my God, Georgie had a weakness for any woman that passed. And it was only later that I found out he had a woman for every day of the week. Yes. On Thursday, he had a girl in the north. On Friday, he had a girl in the south. That's what we're talking about. On Saturday, he had a girl in the east. And on Sunday, he had a girl in the west. She was the best. That's me. And on Monday, he did take a rest. So Georgie realized he still have Tuesday and Wednesday. So Georgie decided he going to get another girl. You all ever hear more? Oh my gosh, I did not know anything about this. I was clueless. So Georgie decided he go in one night when the moon was bright. He decided he go in quite. He go in dong, 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 deep south to try to find another chick to talk about. So Georgie driving his black Lexus, going down the road, you know, and he find, but wait, he passed all the cities. He passed south. He passed all the lights. It's dark now. But Georgie said, oh God, I'm getting a little thirsty. Let me look for a bar to get something to drink. And right outside the bar, the moon cast a glow on this woman in white with a big hat and a veil over her face. But Georgie was going fast. Zwing! He passed. He looked back. He said, wait, did my eyes deceive me? Was that a beauty? So Georgie continued driving, and a little way further down, what did Georgie see? But that's the same woman standing right there under the moon, casting a glow, and she looking rich and expensive. And he said, but what this woman doing out there in the bush? So he passed again. Whoosh! He said, no, oh God, Georgie, but Georgie had a weakness. So Georgie continued driving again, and a little further down the road, what you think? The same woman. He said, Bishop, do a double take. What is that? That cannot be the same woman, nah. But there she was, looking all sultry, just showing a little piece of leg, you know. Oh, he couldn't see her face too much. He was just seeing the veil. So Georgie stopped the car. Screech! And he opened the door. The lady got in. Georgie just seen a hint of leg. And the smell. Oh, God. gosh, she smelled like a bunch of roses. Sweet, 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 too bad. So Georgie said, oh gosh, I hit gold tonight. Tonight is the night. Tonight is the bongo night. So Georgie driving down the road with his sweetie, you know. He trying to talk, but she not talking at all. She just giggling. He could see her shoulders, a little hint of leg. He asking her how far she going, but she just pointing up ahead. And she taking Georgie further, further, further in the darkness, down a dirt track. Georgie saying, but where she living, boy? There are no houses wrong here, but Georgie was tutulbe over this woman one time. So then all of a sudden she said, stop. By her hand signal, of course, her gesture. So Georgie stopped the car and she come out, just seeing the hint of leg as she sauntered out. Now Georgie find she was walking a little funny, eh? Right? 1 foot hop, hop, clop, drop, clop, drop, clop. He said, oh God, poor thing. How she going to walk? I'm going to have to help her. I'll have to walk her inside because she can't walk like that, poor lady. Top, clop, top, clop, top, clop. So he come out the car and the lady just beckoning to him with a signal of a hand. Joe, and he thought he heard a voice in the distance calling him like it was in the wind. Georgie, Georgie. What you want to do? You want to follow her? Eh? Yes, all right. That's my man there, right? I'll go take you home later. So Georgie followed the woman in the bush. He followed. Now he finds she going further. Drop, clop, drop, clop, drop, clop. Walking further and further in the bush. And every time he tried to touch her shoulder, she move and giggle a little bit. So Georgie just following like a mux. Georgie following the girl in the bush. And just when the moon was bright and the clouds were blocking the moon, she couldn't see too good. And just as the moon cleared, Georgie realized he was at the edge of a cliff. Well, where was the woman? She was floating out ahead of him. Georgie nearly dead. And then the woman let out a scandalous laugh. All her teeth were brown and rotten. Her face was skulls and maggots and dirty. Georgie started to scream. Georgie turned. He said, oh, Lord. Georgie started to run. He run for his life. So all you say, run. You all know this. Run. Let me hear you. Run. I nearly break my head. The living running from the dead. The ghost say, don't run, my lad. Let me play a game, a card. Run. Well, now I run for truth. Run. I got stick in a bango root. Run. I fall down in a tomb. Run. I get up and zoom, zoom, zoom. Georgie run out of there. Oh, God, but Georgie get caught up in all kind of vine and all kind of tree. Georgie fall down a ravine. Georgie roll down a hill. Georgie get bite by mosquito. Georgie get bite by all kind of insects. Georgie dirty. His pants rip. Georgie couldn't find his way out of the forest, and he'd keep hearing her voice. Georgie, kiss the girls and make them cry. It's good for him. Anyway, so Georgie now end up in the forest till the sun come up, and that's when he find his way out. And when he look up the road, there he see his car. 1.5 miles. So what Georgie had to do? He had to walk 1.5 miles and he telele. Poor Georgie walk 1.5 miles and he telele. Old Georgie walk 1.5 miles and he Poor Georgie walk 1.5 miles and he telele. Georgie jump in the car. Oh God. Oh, God. Poor Georgie. He was so frightened. I think he get white that day. Georgie started turn on the car and Georgie head out a there and swear that he going to change his cheating, conniving, womanizing ways. Well, if he really did, that is another story. Crick, crack, wire, Ben? Story end. All right. Thank you very much. So I am dressed like a larger best because I figured as if I could catch one tonight. So you better watch out for me.
And we leave the larger bless, but we continue to tell stories because I'm joined by a gentleman who has the drive, has the passion, who's part of the industry and is looking forward to the explosion that we are experiencing tonight of local films, regional films, our stories being told everywhere. So Nigel, tell me why you are here tonight, because I mean, it's more than just saying Papa, you're on the red carpet. What does tonight mean?
I think it means a new start for film and our type of film. Caribbean film, totally indigenous stuff. We have, from this you will see we have a lot of stories to tell. And I think we have to, one of the things that we have to do as Trinidadians and Caribbean people as a whole is find our own niche to tell our own stories in our own way. So I think this is part of the start of all of that.
Well, it's kind of the end technically. As you can hear, the Blue Devils started in the background. We just had the larger blast. We have a lot more to look forward to in terms of tonight's activities, and we will take you back there. But I've been asking everybody if they had to introduce themselves as a show. Any genre, anything, a short, a full-length feature, whatever you decide, what will be the name of your story?
That's a big question.
It needs to be appropriate for the folks at home. I feel like that laugh was a little. So, what would be your story? A drama, a suspense?
It'd be like suspense or eccentricity, more or less.
Papa! What, Papa? Yo, look thing! Guys, we are getting ready to head poolside because, as you can see, the bacchanal things start behind me. And we are getting ready to make sure that you guys get the chance to enjoy it. So, head on over to the Film and Folklore Festival, Instagram, Facebook, website, everything you could think of. Because we need to go see ourselves, tell our stories, and enjoy things that make you say, Papa, yo, look thing. Guys, it's been a great night. Thank you for joining me on the red carpet. Good night.
So I do comedy. A lot of people ask, like, where do I get inspiration from? You know, and I always say I get it from my mom. Like, I grew up in a nice home with my mom. Like, for instance, early on, she was cooking in the kitchen, and she was like, hey, you ain't find you looking like your father tonight? And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, no, you resemble your father, you ain't find so? I was like, Mommy, what do you mean? She was like, oh, I forget. You don't know who is your father. Anyhow, do you want something to eat? Why are you laughing at that? You're laughing at my pain? And you have a bald head as well, so you might as well be my father's. Right? But just plain, like, somebody was asking me recently, like, I grew up in Maruga, and I see home of all Obia and Sukunia and everything, right? So somebody was telling me that I sold my soul and that's why I'm having success. As if a buck or a sukunia is going to walk up to me and be like, hey, you want to sell your soul? Let me ask this. So if a buck walk up to you and ask you to sell your soul, you'll sell your soul? You have your CXC passes? So why you wouldn't sell your soul? Like, you living real good? Abraham, you're wearing a nice jacket, a buck or a leprechaun from your country walk up to you and ask you to sell your soul. You're going to sell your soul? Because you did it already, right? That's how you get. You don't become a CEO just like that. Ask David. You don't just become a CEO. There's rules there. Do you feel? I get you just like this. I met with David and Abraham. And they're like, okay, let's have a thing called a buck. Sang up right here. I will sell my soul for less. I will sell my soul for a digital contract, you know? Again, a next one, right? I'm really close with my grandmom, you know, and she recently started dating Yeah, make some noise for my granny now, like clap for her, like only you all deserve love. So like I went through her phone because I wanted to see like what older people talk about when it comes to love, right? See if I can learn something, right? Like, so you have a love interest, you're married, right? So like, what do you tell your wife and stuff? You're trying not to talk too much, like you just leave her blank. Let she just figure it out as a mystery. Am I married to this man? Am I not? I don't know. Right? So I went to my grandmother check and I wanted to see like what do they talk about. And I was expecting like poetry, like pictures of like plants and stuff. You know, like what all the ladies do. And I scrolled through and I saw something like a raisin in the chat. Right? So I was like, hey grandma, what's this here? And she was like, what do you think it is? I was like, a raisin, I don't know. She was like, zoom in. When I zoomed in, it was the opposite of something sweet. Something a little bit salty, right? So when I found out, when I researched, my grandmother's actually sending nudes. Yeah. This lady is shocked. She's like, your grandmother was doing what? So I was like, I need to fight this man. This man is laughing. Why are you laughing at this? So I was like, I need to fight this man. I need to go and find this man and tell him, hey, my grandmother don't like these things. You need to not do it. So I walked up to him. He was an older guy. And I was like, hey, Mr. Elroy, good night. My grandmother don't like these pictures. She was like, what? I just send your grandmothers all the time. She like it. I said, Mr. Elroy, I have to fight you today. I'm very sorry. I walk up to him. And Mr. Elroy did something today. Mr. Elroy beat me so bad in front of my grandmother, I started taking the pictures of Mr. Elroy. I was like, Mr. Elroy, stoop down like this. Let me get it. I get Oli back now. What we talking about? Oli was a little bit uptight. Oli was a little bit uptight. This man, he love it, which means if you check his phone, you don't want to see his phone. You don't want to see this man's phone, right? Recently, I'm gonna teach you all something. I'm going to teach everybody here a trick. If you ever traveling anywhere and you want to save money, I'm going to teach you something. Wendell, he's a smart man, so you go like this, right? When I was younger, I used to always lose money and stuff. And I realized when you check your pockets, the taxi driver usually say, hey, small man, go ahead. So the other day I was in a taxi and I did this. And he was like, hey, you leave your money home? I was like, yeah, I did. He was like, go ahead. And I started doing that every single day. And that's how I keep my money. That's how I keep my money safe. Look, this lady's just like, try it. Do this. Do this. Let's do this. Let's touch here. You see? Hey, you have a free entry to anywhere you go because that's what we just do to save money, right? And there's a thing called oui. Anybody here from France? Anybody ever been to France? O-U-I, oui. Trinis love using the word oui. For instance, the other day, I went on a travel with my friend and he got a ticket. And he was like, hey, boy, you realize you go on there? We get a ticket. I was like, hello. You get a ticket, you're driving. Like Trinis has always used oui for the weirdest things. Like I've never been by my friend a fortnight. When he get paid and he watch when he say, hey, Javel, we get paid. Never ever. Trinis has always used we for the weirdest thing. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to thank you for having me. Good night. Enjoy the screening. Sir, remember you can walk across there.
Let's hear it for Junior Lee. Yes. He is considered TNT's most eligible buckler. And we're really proud of him, man. Doing great things. The last time he would probably do anything for Digicel, but nonetheless, we're still happy to have you here this evening. Really happy. Great job. Great job, Junior Lee, man. Love it. Yes. Sell your soul for digital contract and then lose it in the same night. Wow. All right. So this evening, of course, just before we make our way over to the area where we could view some of the wonderful films that we're going to be showcasing tonight, we've had a larger bless this evening in Cecilia Salazar. We've had a Dwen and the first comedian, Jonathan Pear. We've had a buck, of course, Junior Lee. And we're moving to another traditional character. She is Miss Claudette Deludes, and she is a minstrel. So please put your hands together as we welcome our very own minstrel to perform for us this evening. Come on, put your hands, come on, make her feel welcome, come on. A little bit overdone, I guess I did your makeup, but that's all right, come true. All right.
Papa you, real Papa you. Gade moon, be born with me say Sedam, tout moun asam. A very special and warm good afternoon to all of the good-looking gentlemen here, and the women, and then everybody else. All right? Now, I am the lone minstrel from Simply Cultural. Now, minstrel, although it's an English character, because I'm centered in the community of Marval and a Patois-speaking community, we have induced Patois into our minstrel ditties. Now, I'm a storyteller, but a storyteller with a difference, because this minstrel tells stories in ditties. You know ditties? Little rhymes and rhythms. Now, Marval has been playing minstrel since the 1940s. So that's a long, long time. We rooted in the community from the beginning. It came about because the people of Marval, in times of hard times, found work on the American base. And that's where they were exposed to the American-type minstrelsy. Hence, my face is painted white, because when they went there, the faces were painted black. And so there began their story. No, but that's a story for another time. This afternoon, my story is rooted in our first language that was universal, the language of Patois, and everybody spoke. And that's the language of Carnival and the language of Calypso. Now, I don't know how many of you know, but Calypso began in Patois. And there are quite a number of Patois Calypsos in our archives which document our history and gives you an exact identity and idea of how the people felt and at the time. So tonight I'm sharing 2 of those Calypsos with you. I'm going to give you the background into the Calypso, because you have to understand that when they sang the Calypso, the lyrics were very simple. And the lyrics were simple because everybody listening to the Calypso knew the story and could fall in and knew exactly what the Calypsonian was singing about. So I'm going to give you the background into the story. And in getting the background, it would place you in the time in which the story was told. Because remember, all these stories are in Patois, right? And this is Patois with a capital P, right? It's a language just like any other. Patois with a capital P. So let's go back. I'm introducing you to 2 Calypsos. Now the thing is, although these Calypsos were sung in Patois and they were Calypsos, they were in a lot of communities referred to as being folk songs. Folk songs. So some of them you may know, right? So when I introduce the Calypso, if you know the chorus, feel free to sing it along with me. You would have known it as a folk song. But let me tell you, it was a Calypso. The reason for referring to it as folk song is because of the disparagement that people had with the Calypso. So they tried to sanitize it, calling it a folk song. So I'll give you the first one. Story is true. This story is about 2 men. I'm not going to call them gentlemen, just 2 men. How much? 2, right? 2 men. One named Eligon, one named Camille. Now the thing is, it happened around the carnival time. And this goodly gentleman by the name of Eligor, he went missing. People couldn't find him. 2-3 days he didn't come home. Now, after carnival, because you know during carnival everybody busy, they miss him, but after carnival, they went looking for Eligor. Unfortunately, Eligor was found in a shallow grave in an open field in St. James. Now, the last person seen with Eligor was the other man. They call him Camille. So, it stands to reason Camille was charged for the murder of Eligor. Now, the judge in question at the time was a famous judge by the name of Gory. By the way, anything I tell you, you could Google it. You will see it's for true and for real, really. So, Gory took the case. And the case went up and the case went down, and eventually Gory acquitted Camille. But the people wasn't taking that so. They form a lynch mob, and them come out looking for Camille. So Camille was running for his life, up the mountain, down the valley, across the river, through St. James, through Diego Martin. Eventually, they chased him on the wharf in Port of Spain, and he dived in the water. People say he drowned. Some others say he went on a boat and went Jamaica. But whatever, here's the calypso. Remember, if at any time you recognize the chorus, feel free to sing along. Righto? So here we go. Zot pakatan sagori di. Zot pakatan sagori fe. Zot pakatan sagori di nukamade Camille po eligon. Keska monte, keska desan, keska tombe nadlo. Keska monte, keska desan, keska tombe nadlo. Apwe kanivala nou ke chache pou eligo. Apwe kanivala nou ke chache pou eligo. Camel monte, camel desan, camel tombe nadlo. Camel monte, camel desan, camel tombe nadlo. If you sing it, let we go, let we go. Apwe kanivala nou ke chache pou eligo. Apwe kanavala nou ke chache pou eligo. Camel monte, camel desan, camel tombe nadlo. Camel monte, camel desan, camel tombe nadlo. Oi, itire, tire, tire la, tire la, tire la, itire, tire, tire la. Now, so I could translate. I give you the story already so you know what's coming. So, Zot pakatan. All you hear what Gory say? All you hear what Gory do? Huh? All you hear what Gory say? All you hear what Gory do? That case go up, the case go down, the case go up, the case go down, the case fall down in the water. After carnival, we searching for Eligo. After the carnival, all are we searching for Eligo. Camel running, camel climb up the mountain, camel run down the mountain, camel run cross the valley, camel run. Eventually, camel tumble in the water. That's the calypso. Now, if you wasn't living in the times and you didn't know the story, even if you hear the calypso and you translate the meaning, you still wouldn't know. Ain't? And even when the calypsos were sung in English, there were still some that you had to be within the culture to understand. So it's the same thing. So now I'm going to share with you a second calypso. Again, I will give you the background. We were saying the calypso, and then I'll translate. Please remember that, that the language that was spoken was Patois, so the calypsos that were created and sung were done in Patois. Now, this one has to do with the last Spanish governor. So I take you back in time. Remember him, the last Spanish governor? And I will tell you just like how my granddaughter said it when they were teaching her. Don Jose Maria Chacon, right? And no matter it's a child, it's Don Jose Maria Chacon. Yes, Don Jose Maria Chacon, the last Spanish governor. Now, this had to do with Chacon and his encounter with Abercrombie, the British battler out on the sea. So there was Chacon faced with a situation of British takeover, and he had to deal with the issue. Now, Mr. Chacon lived in an atmosphere where the only people of worth were the plantocracy. And all of those Amerindians and free coloreds, they were just plebeians. They had no worth. Therefore, there was no need to consult them or deal with them in any way. And among this group was the Calypsonians. Please understand, we forget that not only our people sang, the Amerindians also sang Calypso. And they also sang it in Patois. So let's go back to Don Jose, Maria Chacon, and Abercrombie out in the waters. And so having faced this, he couldn't deal or depend on the French because they decided that it was not their fight. It's time we fight and no way we confronting no British against the British for the sake of the Spanish. So them take a side. In fact, they went and hide. But there were the people who run in the country and working every day. And these were the people that Don Jose didn't give a say. So there he is with the capitulation. And here is Mr. Possum's contribution on the situation. Now, this is Possum. Possum says, Gouverneur Boude Père, Ipa Baye Bate, soldat anglais à tuer point toute la Trinité. Gouverneur Boude Père, Ipa Baye Bate, soldat anglais à tuer point toute la Trinité. Moi planté piment, moi planté citron, la sangle pour tout. Quittez moi couillon, gouverneur pour des pains, gouverneur pour des pains. Gouverneur chacun dit, si moi est dit, gouverneur chacun dit, si moi est dit, gouverneur pour des pains, So now, let me translate and give you an idea as to how the people felt. Because when we hear the history, we hear a one-sided story. But we are such a conglomeration of people that every aspect of our history have 5 components to it. And all of the components are true. It just depends on who is telling the story. So here's Possum's story. He says, Governor Boudepe, Governor Straw Belly. So that's what they call him, eh? So we know the last Spanish governor, them know Governor Strawbelly. And to be termed a strawbelly in those days meant that you were a big coward. Right? Governor Boudepe, Governor Strawbelly. He never even put up a fight. He let the English soldiers come in and take over the whole of Trinidad. Now I had estates planted, I had peppers planted, and I had limes planted. Them English soldiers, they take everything, leaving me stupid. Now, when you listen to the simplicity of the Calypso, if you are not dressed in the center of the people, you will misunderstand the story. But what was happening there is that the people were protesting about the fact that they were not considered at all in the situation when Mr. Governor Strawbelly decided to capitulate. He never asked them a question. And then they were placed in a situation that they were born in this land, that they were considered free, that they were working their estates and plantation. And when a new government took over, it was as if they had nothing. They had no rights to it. It left them stupid. So it's like they had to start again. Nobody even compensated them or paid them for what they had. It was just taken away, right? But the governor, Strawbelly, he made a statement. He said he preferred to run, right? He preferred to run than to dead, for which he was commended, because in truth, it meant that he saved everybody, right? But that's not how the peoples saw the thing. Governor Boude Père, they say, Ipa Baye Bate, soldat anglais à tuer point toute la Trinité. Now, there are very many more patois calypsos in our archives. Anybody can access them. You need to get somebody to translate them. But you can access them, and they are translatable. I'll share one more with you, because I'm sure you would know this one. You may not have thought of it as a calypso because it has always been portrayed as a folk song. So here we go. Ready? And again, remember, if you know the chorus, feel free to chante, chante, chante. Bamwe yoti bo, deti bo, twati bo do do. Bamwe yoti bo, one kiss, deti bo, two kiss, twati bo do do. Bamwe yoti bo, deti bo, twati bo. Bamwe tout sauni, pou soulager chemwe. Now, this was a song a fella was singing for his sweetheart, eh? It's branded there, but he created the thing for the lady. And there he was trying to coerce the lady. So he said, listen to me, just give me one little kiss. You know what? Just give me 2 little kisses. You know what? Give me 3 little kisses. And then he was so enamored. He said, you know what? Give me your whole heart. Give me everything that you have. As to what she understood from what he said and what he meant, I don't know. But he said, hear what? Just give me everything you have. So there we go. Ready? And bamwe yoti bo, deti bo, twati bo do do. Bamwe yoti bo, deti bo. All you know the song? Don't leave me lonely. Sing it with me. That's a popular one. Okay, well, here what? I'm going to teach you. Yoti bo, 1 kiss. Deti bo, 2 kiss. Twati bo, 3 kiss. So that's all I want. Yoti bo, deti bo, twati bo. Let me go. Ready and bamwe is give me, right? Bamwe yoti bo, deti bo, twati bo do do. And you know do do is sweetheart, right? Bamwe yoti bo, deti bo, twati bo do do. Bamwe yoti bo, deti bo, twati bo. Bamwe tout sauni pou soulager chemwe. You know something? I look around just now and I see somebody. This somebody sees a man. Yeah? I see a man already. Now, we have plenty men here, but this is my eyes only seeing one man. So I'm singing for this one man. I will not tell you who this one man is, right? Just in case I get myself in trouble. It's one man, right? Right there. So make it one man. Good. So, how much I singing for? One man. All you can sing with me, right? All of we singing for one man. Ready and bamwe yoti bo, deti bo, twati bo do do. Bamwe yoti bo, deti bo, twati bo do do. Bamwe yoti bo, deti bo, twati bo. Bamwe tout sauni pou soulager chemwe. Merci appeal tout le monde. Thank you so much for having me. The lone minstrel is saying goodbye, saying au revoir, saying bien bonne nuit, messieurs, mesdames, tout le monde. Assam, until we meet again. Plita semaine prochaine. That I just said. I'll see you again. Maybe I'll see you next week. Ready, Anne? Good night.